Hey guys, welcome to the Cheap Talk podcast. My name is Quinn, and this is my co-host Anthony. This is our first episode, actually, and just a little insight into what we'll be talking about. It's just things that's going to be going on in the news, music artist ratings. So if you guys don't know if you want to look into an artist and want a quick overview or a summary on what we think is some of their best songs and what we rate the artist as a whole, you've come to the right place. So we're gonna be doing a lot of things, just talking with each other, getting to know you guys. We really want to build a decent fan base and like a good community. So it's not just us doing all the talking and stuff. Like we want your guys' opinions on stuff we're talking about, and we want to engage you guys as well. So as this is the first podcast, we will be talking about the artist named J.I.D, and me and Anthony will be rating him. We will be rating the artist. We'll be naming our top 5 favorite songs, rating each song, and then we will be also talking about our favorite album and what we rate the album. Is there anything you want to add, Anth?
Uh, Obviously, we're gonna go over like for the album side of like JID stuff or the artist rankings. We're gonna go through the albums and like the songs we liked and the favorites we have. So like on Spotify, if you have like a green heart, yeah, you guys know what the green heart is probably. Is when you like a song, is what it's called on Spotify, but we call it a favorite. And basically, it means that you really like the song. It's like a, what did we say, 8 out of 10 minimum, or is that about what we
If
said?
you favorite it?
Yeah, if you favorite it.
If I favorite songs that are like 8.5 plus, yeah.
8.5 plus. Okay, yeah. So songs that were like 8.5 plus or a heart, basically. And so, kind of like an example of today is with JID, we're going to go through the Never Story, DiCaprio 2, Spillagin, I believe say the album, and then the Forever Story. And we're going to give like our songs that we liked and our songs that we hearted off the album. So,
Yeah. We've also created a whole list of and organized everything into a Google Docs, so it's laid out pretty easy for you guys to see.
exactly. And we're going to, I think on the screen
Right.
somewhere, while we're doing the talking and while we're giving off our favorite songs, I'm going to put a little graphic up so it's easier to understand than trying to remember the list of songs we list. Because there might be a lot of songs, that we actually like or we favorite. So I think having a list or a visual graphic art in front of you will help.
Yeah.
But before we start with the JID ranking, we should tell them to subscribe, obviously, like, and share the podcast with other people that may be interested in music or in just daily interactions on the young teenager lifestyle or young adult lifestyle. I guess you should say. I'm not a teenager anymore, really, but hey, it is what it is, man. So yeah,
Young is here.
if that's something that interests you or your friend group or any of your friends or family, share it around. And yeah, I think we should just get into this, right?
I think so too.
Alrighty, so I'm going to kick things off with the Never Story. That is JID's first album. And I'm going to be completely honest, I like this album for the most part. Some liked songs that I have off here were Doo-Wop, All Bad, and Somebody. Those were the only songs that I liked off of it. However, I had 3 other songs that I favorited, and that was Never, Division, and Hereditary. Any in your songs, Quinn?
So yeah, for this first album, I thought it was really good. I thought it was super good for it being his first album. And then the songs that I liked on this album was General, Division, Hereditary, All Bad, and Hood Booger. Those were the songs that I really liked off this album.
What a name.
What?
Say what a name. Hood Booger.
A name, yeah.
Uh,
But I want to say that Hereditary and All Bad, you guys will probably be hearing of those again. Um, I thought those were probably my 2 favorites off that album. They were both really good. I like All Bad because it's such a chill, vibey song. And as you'll see later on, Jid he's good at being chill and like having like the vibey like songs you can listen to at any time. You're just chilling with like a female or on a car ride or even when you're just doing some work. It's like some laid back type of music. And then he's also got a couple of hype ones where he's got features with like 21, Low Dirk, like people that are more hype in the game, and I think that he's successful in both areas. So I always think that makes a rating better, like makes an artist better, if they can go and have success in multiple areas of the game. So, but yeah, that's my rating for the first album. I thought it was really good.
I agree with you there. I agree with you on your point there as well. As in, Jid is definitely versatile. I would say he can do a melodic. He can do I would say lyrical rap. I would say he's pretty like he. I wouldn't say he. Would you say he like relies on his lyrics or no? Would you say like his beats are like more relied on?
I don't think he has to rely on his lyrics or his beat. I think they go in tandem with each other. I think they both complement each other.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And if you're ready to head into DiCaprio 2, the second album,
I am ready. I am ready.
all right, is it all right if I start this one off?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, yeah, so I had a similar amount of like songs in this album. Um, I think that there wasn't really that many bad songs in the album, but I think that a lot of songs in this album are really well known by people that aren't really exactly a JID fan. Like they probably heard these songs from friends that listen to JID. But the songs that I liked are 151 Rum, Just Another Day, Mounted Up, Despacito 2, Hasta Luego Bonus, and that was all the ones that I liked.
You had no favorites?
Um, the favorites that I had of that one were 151 Rum, Just the Other Day, and I mean, I didn't favorite Despacito 2 or Hasta Luego, but I might be changing that because those are both pretty good songs.
Okay, okay, okay. So I think there was a lot more quantity on this album, but I do not think that the quality dropped drastically. I would say it definitely dropped just a tad, but I wouldn't say it dropped to be like this album was not really worth the listen. It's definitely still worth the listen in my opinion. And some of the songs that I liked off of here were 151 Rum, Off the Zoinkies, Working Out, Hotbox, Just the Other Day. And then some of the songs that I favorited off here were Slick Talk, Off These, and Strawberries. So obviously with my like songs and favorited songs, you can tell there was a lot of songs on here that I enjoyed. But I don't think that this makes this a better album than the Never Story. I think the Never Story is, I don't know. I think it's just better, to be honest. This feels like more of a compilation than it does like an album in a sense. You know, to me at least.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, a compilation. What do you mean by a compilation?
Maybe not a compilation, but more like a playlist. You know.
Yeah, I would say that. I think it could be like a whole playlist to listen to like in the gym one day or something.
Yeah, something like that. Even though it has different vibes in each song, it's like you pick which songs you like. You know, with the Never Story, I feel like it was a consistent like theme and like the songs like in between made sense and they all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there was more of a theme in the first album. Definitely, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that you think that quality went down from the first to the second album.
Just slightly, just slightly. Like I don't think it's a big like it's not a big like difference you can really tell. Like I said, I still think it's worth the listen, but
Yeah.
I just think that the Never Story 2 is or the Never Story is better than DiCaprio 2.
Okay. I would probably say that overall it was either equal or a tad bit above. Just because how many people like listen to it. Like that album, the second one is definitely more popular than the first album he made. And I think that the quality of the songs has something to do with that. But I don't think they're too far off each other. I think they're both quality albums, and if I was to listen to Jid or get into it, you definitely got to listen to both albums. There's fire songs on both albums, but yeah, I think that personally, the second album might be a tad bit better, even though the first album, the songs I did like, I liked more than the ones on the second album.
Really, that's interesting. I would have never
Yeah.
got that. I would have never expected that for you to say that at all.
Yeah, the ones on the first album I liked better, but I think on the second album there was more in quantity that I liked. What I would say.
And that's what makes you like the second album more than the first.
Um, that's what makes it better than the first.
Okay.
But I think that I like the first album better. I think the second album is better, but I think I just like the for the first
So
album, even
so
though I think
as
the second one's
okay,
better.
so as an album, you like the Never Story
I don't know if that
better.
makes any sense,
No, no, no.
but
I
I just
think
like
I
the
think I think I get what you're saying. As an album, you like the Never Story better, but as like individual songs, like off the album, you like DiCaprio 2 better.
overall, yes, yeah, I would
Okay,
agree.
okay, okay. That I just had to clear. But as an album, like as a cohesive album, if you're going from top to bottom, you would rather listen to the Never Story over DiCaprio 2. If you have to listen,
Um,
if you have to listen to every song again, you know.
if I had to listen to every song, I would listen to DiCaprio too. But if I could pick the songs that I want to listen to, I would go for the ones on um the first one, the Never Story.
Okay, I mean that's interesting. That's interesting. Because I know, so the thing is, I know that the Never Story is really liked by the Jid fans, from what I understand or what I got from it. But I know that DiCaprio 2 is like one of his highest streaming albums, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
I
Right.
definitely understand that. But I think I don't know. I think I mean we'll just have to see what the fans say and what the people say, you know. Because I think it's just
Yeah, I'd be
interesting
curious to see what people say on which album they think is better.
for sure. I mean we haven't even reached the last two, but hey, that's what I'm saying, bro. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Alrighty, let me kick things off with the Spillagin album. I believe that's how you say
definitely.
it. I really hope I'm not saying that wrong, but I think that's how you say it. Spillagin.
Religion,
This is
something like that.
a collab album, I believe, with Spillage Village, J.I.D, and Earth Gang. Now, when I first saw this, to be honest, I was not really expecting much because it's a collab album, and sometimes collab albums can be hit or miss depending on if you really like the artist. And to me, I only really knew of Jid. I didn't know too much about Earth Gang, so I didn't really know what to go in with. But I did end up liking only 3 songs, and I had no favorites on this album. And the 3 songs that I liked were Baptize, Mecca, and End of Days. What about you?
Okay. Um, yeah, for this album, I had heard of I had never heard of Spillage Village, but I had heard of Earth Gang. I had like now we listen to them a lot, but I've heard a lot of features with them. Um, then I had obviously, of course, heard of J.I.D. So I ended up having only one song on the whole album that I would consistently listen to, and that was Shiva. Um, I think there was a couple more good ones. What was the one that you said first?
Baptize?
Yeah, I think "Baptized" is a solid song, but I couldn't listen to it too often. I think I would get bored of it if I listened to it too often. So I think it was a cool thing to do. Him to just like it's like his first album where he collabed with somebody else while he was doing it. Um, but it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't
Yeah.
my favorite.
Well, what
I think
I
that if you real quick, I want to say if you are just trying to do something quickly, you want to just take a look at Jid's best songs. You wouldn't be missing too much if you skipped over this album,
I
in my
agree,
opinion.
100% agree. Like honestly, I think you came past this album and it would be you'd be doing you a better service. To be honest, I think it would make you like Jid a little bit more. To be honest, that's just me personally though.
Yeah,
But you only liked one song off of it. You said
yeah. I mean, I liked a couple, but there's only one that I would listen to consistently,
okay,
and that was the Shiva one.
okay, all right. And
Oh yeah,
you want
that's
to
about all you can say about that.
yeah, I mean, there's not much to really talk about, to be honest. It's nothing crazy. Do you want to kick things off with the Forever Story for us?
Um, I can. There's a lot to go over, but
Yeah.
yes, I'll kick it off.
Okay, so this is probably going to be the meat and potatoes of this, and the artist ranking is probably going to be like the big portion of the video. Just to let you guys know. But go ahead.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't listen to Jid, this might be his most critically acclaimed album that he's ever made. I think he's most well known, and some of the songs on it are his best songs he's ever created. Um, just real quick, I can tell you guys the ones that I liked off this one, which was a lot. Um, I liked Radar, Dance Now, Crack Sandwich is really good. Surround sound with 21 Savage is a banger if you like trap, and 21 Savage part comes in so hard. Cody Blue 31, Brother M featuring Little Dirt, System M, Can't Make You Change, Stars, Just in Time, 2007, Lauder 2, and Money. It's a lot of songs, but that album is great. You can't if you are going to listen to JID, I would listen to the whole album all the way through. I wouldn't skip any song. Even though there's some I like more than others, obviously, I wouldn't skip over any song in that album. It's a great album. So, and what do you think of that album, though?
Did you want to tell them your favorites real quick? I know you told them your like song. Do you want to tell them the favorites out of the album that you liked? I know you told them
Oh
one.
yeah, I can tell you guys my favorites. Definitely some of my favorites are, um, Lauder 2 is really good. Um, System M and Blood M are both good songs. I think I like System M more. It's a pretty long song, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a 6 minute song or something like that.
It's a
Yeah,
longer one, but you gotta listen to it all the way through.
it's an
The
engaging
end is
one.
really good. hmm Just in Time is a super fire song. Surround Sound. I was talking a little bit about that one, but you might have heard of that one. A lot of people know about that song,
Yeah,
although it's pretty good.
that one was released like prior to the album, so I think a lot of people saw that, and a lot of people saw the 21 feature, and they were like, "Jid and 21," and they thought that was like what.
Yeah,
And then yeah, because 21 he does his feature run. 21's a feature boy, so. And when they heard them come together, I mean, people were like, I remember seeing all the reaction videos and everything like that, and I was like, yo, this song is hard, dude. And I had no
yeah.
idea. Like, I'll get into it more when I talk about the album. But okay, let's finish your thing.
And then the last songs that I want to mention is Radar, which is towards the beginning of the album. It's a really good song. And then Crack Sandwich, which I think I mentioned, has like a really eerie, creepy type of beat, in my opinion. Like it's like a kind of a creepy beat, but it's super hard. I think it's a really good song. So yeah, that's it for me though. What do you think about it, Anth?
All right, y'all. Well, this album dropped in, I believe, August of 2022, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm correct, my birthday month, y'all. So nope, I'm just kidding. I'm smoking. Apparently, it dropped in October. No, there's no shot it dropped in October. There's no shot it dropped in October. No shot. Hold on. No shot it dropped in. I could have swore it dropped in August. I could have sworn. Anyways, some people may call this his best album. I'm gonna tell you right now. This if Jid can top this, he might be my favorite artist of all time. Loki, he's gonna be up there. Cause this right now,
Wow.
y'all, I'm gonna be honest. This is a 10 out of 10 album. Um, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I liked every song off this. Now I did have a few favorites that I liked more than obviously all the songs. Um, and I had Radar as a favorite. I had Dance Now as a favorite. I had Can't Punk Me as a favorite. Surround Sound, Cody Blue 31, Brudenim, Systenim, and 2007. So, like, I would say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About half the album I favorited, which to me, I think is a decent amount.
Saying something.
Yeah, it says something about the album. Now, I will say, when the album first came out, I didn't know Jid at all. This was my first Jid listening experience, and if I was getting into Jid or just like getting to know him, and I didn't really know what song to really go into and really get the vibe of him. Surround Sound is a trap one for sure, like Quinn said before. But if you're going for a more like melodic, soulful beat, I would say either go Cody Blue, Bredenim, or Systenim. One of those three can really. I mean, a lot of these songs on here are like. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be hard to top this. I'm having a hard time like really trying to piece all this together and puzzle it up. But I'll just leave it at that because I could ramble on for this album for literally hours and hours on how good this is. And this, just to let you guys know, this was my hip hop album of the year last year for sure, for sure.
All right. Well, with that said, I think we've both gotten some decent opinions out there. You think it's time to show them the spreadsheet on what our top 5 songs are?
But before we do that, is there any singles that you liked off of Jid's like singles that he had?
There was one that you were talking about that I listened to before we did this. What was that one called? Do you remember? You told me about it. I
Um,
didn't get into the things as much as the
Ballads,
main song. What?
ballads.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was I thought was really good.
So I had ballads on
It's a
mine
pretty unique song.
that
I
I
like it
liked.
though.
I had ballads on mine that I liked as well. I do think "Enemy" is a solid song with Imagine Dragons and Jid. Um, and I obviously had, my boy, my boy, my boy. I was at a baby, but my boy. Hey. Yeah, but I had no favorites off of the singles. I just liked them.
Yeah, if you want to save your time, you could probably be okay passing the singles. That one Ballads is pretty solid, but I think he really shines in his own albums. Which kind of sucks though. I'm waiting for him to drop something crazy in a single. I feel like soon we're gonna get something crazy.
Really.
Just because we haven't gotten anything super like I don't know, just that we haven't got any goated singles yet.
I
I
mean,
think they do for one,
Surround Sound was a single when it came out.
but he turned it into an album. So
Yeah.
does that count?
Um, Man, maybe not.
If it counted as a single, then yeah, that's a goated single.
Yeah, if you're
I
thinking
think
of
they
it,
we're due for another one.
yeah.
All right, guys. So right now there should be popping up on your screen an image of the actual spreadsheet that we created. And if you guys want to take a quick screenshot, go ahead. But to kick it off, and did you want to start with your rating, or did you want me to start with mine? I don't care.
I'll start with mine. How about that? We'll do it a little bit opposite. So obviously, I'm gonna save his personal ranking out of 100 for last. I'm just gonna do my favorite songs right now. You know what? Let's do my favorite album because I already told you what it was. My favorite album is obviously The Forever Story. To me, it's a 10 out of 10 album. I think it's pretty much the definition of consistency, and it's really consistent all the way through. I have really no big problems with the album. Sure, maybe you could take one song off the album. Sure, maybe, but I'm not gonna stress about it like that. I don't think there's too much to nitpick at. And as a banger percentage, if you guys don't know what a banger percentage is, basically, it's basically like not the favorite songs, but songs you go back to mostly in a way. Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, just songs that you would listen to multiple times in a row and you wouldn't get tired of.
Exactly.
Songs that you think are really goated songs.
Exactly. And my
Like,
banger.
I mean, I want to say, like, if you like the song, like, you think it's a good song, you don't really include it in banger percentage. It doesn't negatively affect the banger percentage, but like a banger is not just a good song. A banger is like a great song that you really fuck with. So,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
So my banger percentage was a 93. Like I said, I really enjoyed the album. So do with that what you will. And yeah, you guys knew this already though, because I said this before. Now let's go on to my favorite songs. We did top 5 songs. I don't know if we're gonna be top 5 for all of the artists that we're gonna do, but for Jid, we did do top 5. So let's start at number 5. For me, at number 5, I had 2007, and I rated that song a 9.3 out of 10. Solid song. I mean, it's got like 3 beats in it, I think, 3 or 4. And to me, it's a solid storytelling beat. Even like the little J. Cole, like him talking about J. Cole and or J. Cole talking to him and talking about like his drive and hunger to become this established rapper in the game. So I thought that was really cool. Number 4, we had Hereditary, by far the best song off of the Forever Story, and that was a 9.5 for me. Or not the Forever Story, my bad, the Never Story. At number 3, we had Radar, classic trap beat. This really hit the track going off of the Forever Story. It was like the first real track off of After Galaxy. But Radar, bro, that snap and then disappear, that line, that gets me every time. I'm not gonna lie, that Thanos line gets me every time. Coming in at 2, or second place, we have Cody Blue 31. Now, originally this was my number 1, but I think that Cody Blue 31 has, I think, more soul than my number 1, but I think lyrically, number 1 is better than Cody Blue. And my number 1 is System, and that's a 9.9. And I don't know if I said it already, but Cody Blue is a 9.8. And I just think that System is a better lyrical song, and it still has that soulful touch that like Cody Blue 31 has. And I still think Cody Blue 31 is a great track. I just don't think it's maybe up there as such as like System. I don't know. That's how I looked at it. That's just personally me.
Okay.
And then as a rating as a whole, I feel pretty set on this, and I don't think it's gonna change. If it does, I mean, I'd be shocked. But I think that Jid's an overall of an 86 out of 100
Solid.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So to get into my rating, I'll start with my favorite album, which was also the Forever Story. I rated the album at 8.9 out of 10, just because of the sheer fact of how many good songs there were, but also the ones that were good were also bangers. So my banger percentage was at 87%. Um, and I think that the majority of songs were pretty fire songs. I think there was probably 3 to 4 that I wouldn't listen to all the time, but even then, it's not like the songs were ass. Like, it's not like, oh my, I hate this song. Like, it was still a solid song. It just wasn't a banger in my opinion. So to get into my top 5 songs, I would say my number 5, Hereditary. I
Yes,
think
sir.
Anth had this on his list too.
Mm.
This is a really good song. One of the Anth is the best on the Never Story. I'd have to disagree, but it's one of the best. Um, I rated Hereditary at 9.3. It's just a really vibey, mellow song, and yeah, I just think it's really shows some of his melodic talent. Number 4, I've got System M. Was that on your list?
Yeah, it was number one for me.
Yeah. Okay. System M is a great song. Kind of as you were saying, it's really lyrical. He talks a lot about like his history in it, and it's kind of like if you really start to think about what he's talking about, it can kind of get you in the feels a little bit. Um, Number 3, I had surround sound. I mentioned that a couple times earlier to you guys. Surround sound when 21 comes in, uh, it's just you guys gotta listen to it for yourselves. But 21 goes fucking hard on that shit, so I had to put that in my top 5.
He
I
does
had to.
indeed. He does indeed.
Number 2, I got Just in Time. Number 2, Just in Time. Just in Time was off the 151 Rum album, right? DiCaprio too. Was
Was
that off
it?
that one?
No, I think it was on the. I think it was off the Forever Story. Let me check real quick.
Was it actually?
Just in
Yeah, it
time. Yeah,
was.
just in time.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a Lil Wayne
Okay,
and
so
Kenny
it was.
Mason.
Yeah, that's a really good song. I think that comes out of personal preference. I guess the whole list does, but the beat in that song resonates with me. The beat is fire. I can listen to that song at any time in the gym, like in the car, um, most any time. And then the number one song that I listened to by Jid out of all the albums that I listened to was All Bad, and All Bad comes off of his first album, The Never Story. And the reason I think this song is so good is because I think that this song is so melodic and like just like laid back. Just like it can push you into a new vibe just by listening to the song. I think that like if you got a shawty in your car, like she's fucking that song on. Like,
uh,
bro, if any of y'all cop a shawty after listening to All Bad with a female sitting in your passenger seat, put me on, bro. Like you gotta credit me for that one. You gotta credit me for that, bro. All Bad is just a super good song. Um, if you guys want to go look at listen to Jid, I highly recommend that. I highly recommend his first album, his second album, and his fourth album. He's really got some crazy songs and some insane talent. So, but yeah, that finishes off my list. I don't think I gave a rating to the other songs. Just real quick, I had Hereditary at 9.3 out of 10. System M 9.3 out of 10 as well. Surround Sound 9.4 out of 10. Just in Time 9.4 out of 10. And All Bad I put a 9.6 out of 10. So that's my final rating.
I'm gonna be. Oh, okay. I'll let you finish your rating for the actual artist, but I'm actually surprised that you didn't put Just in Time above All Bad, or at least put Just in Time as like a 9.5, because the way you made it sound was like
Think about it.
the way you made it sound was like, man, like I could play this on like every day, like once a day, and it would still like I would still like it.
Yeah. I was thinking about 9.5,
Mm-hmm.
but I went with 9.4. Um, I don't know. That's what it felt like to me. It felt more of a 9.4 than a 9.5. Either way, it was still a great song. So, and for my final rating of all, Jid as an artist himself, I gave him 82 out of 100. Um, at first, I thought I was gonna rate him way less than this, like 60s, 70s. I had not heard of him as much. I didn't, maybe not 60s, but I thought 70s for sure. And after listening to him, definitely changed my opinion. He's got a lot of fire songs, so he's got a lot of just songs that aren't usual. He doesn't have a usual array of songs. A lot of people have one specialty and they stick to it. But I think Jid likes to push the boundaries. He likes to do different styles. And
I
that's
can
kind of what gave him the 82 for me.
I can agree with that for sure. Not with the rating, but I can agree with what you said before that. Now I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how you have him at an 82. That to me is crazy. I
What
would
do you
have
have
him
him at?
86.
So 4 points higher.
Yeah, but I would say he's at minimum at least an 85 or higher.
Okay.
That's me
Yeah, I
personally.
disagree.
Me personally though. Me personally.
Also, I mean, there's a lot of artists out there, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I got him at an 82.
Yeah. That. Okay, and I
It's a
think
good ass artist. 82 is a high rating.
it,
Uh, I couldn't put him at 85,
it's a
86.
it's like a B though. It's a B minus if you're thinking about it like a grade level. It's a B. You're giving him like a B minus, you know. And bro's not a B minus. He's at least a B, a solid B, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
To me.
I don't think of it as a rating though, or a grade. I don't think of it as a grade. Why would you think of it as a grade? If you think about it as a grade, that means that F is a 0 all the way to 60 and up. That means you're rating any artist below a 60 in F. I don't do that. I'm not. That's why I don't compare it to a grade. As a grade, you can only get D, A, B, C, D, and F. So it's like 0 to 60. You're just making that all bad artists. So I can't do that. 50 is like an average artist to me. He's way above average for me. I don't like
Okay.
comparing it to a grade. But
50,
that's just
50,
my thought process.
50 is like average then. Okay. 50 is average.
But yeah, it should be.
Okay. So you think you would say he's great.
It should be average. 5 out of 10 shoddy is average shoddy.
Would you say he's great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a great artist. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit. I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I will.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you one thing. If you were to recommend, or to say like, give him an album or give him a song to get into Jid, what would that song or album be?
To get into Jid,
For sure.
I think the first album you should listen to is DiCaprio 2.
Really?
Because yeah, I think that's the best one for you to listen to first. Because I think that some of the songs on that album you might have heard snippets of, or you might have heard a while back from like friends, and then it can get you like accustomed to those songs you've already heard of. So just get you back in the Jid flow. Then also it's got songs that you probably didn't heard that are also good. After that, I would listen to. I mean, okay, it depends on if you like him a lot or not. After you listen to DiCaprio 2, if you really like that album, and you know you're gonna stick with Jid, I would go to his first album and listen to the Never Story. If it was an okay or it was a solid album, but it wasn't like I want to listen to this whole entire like if it's not like I really liked him, I would go to the Forever Story. I'll listen to that one second. Because the Forever Story, I think you've got to like some type of songs on that. And then after that one, if you still want to go and look around more, then I would go to the first album, the Never Story, because I wouldn't look over that album, even if you didn't like DiCaprio 2. I would still eventually go to the Never Story. I'll just do the Forever Story first. So
That's
yeah.
surprising. I mean, as from personal experience, I listened to the Forever Story first, and I fell in love with it. I don't think I heard any other song besides Off D's with J. Cole, and I just because of the Lyrical Lemonade video. Um, but then After that, I obviously went back after the Forever Story. So personally, for me, um, I don't know if I'd go DiCaprio 2 for the first one. I mean, maybe I don't know. I agree with your reasoning. I could definitely understand that reasoning. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to be honest because my heart, like my honest opinion, like I want to tell you to go to the best of the best first, but maybe that's not like the best option. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of in a pickle here, but
I mean, if you listen to his first, third, or fourth album, eventually you're gonna get to a song you like if you appreciate Jid. Like his albums are all pretty solid. I just wouldn't recommend going to his second album first because it might like stray you away because you might just listen to it and be like, "Guess fucking ass. Like, why am I listening to this? If he's got this many features, like, why are these songs still bad?"
you mean the third album?
And maybe you'll like it. It just to me it was really kind of a disappointment. It's kind of a disappointment to me.
Talking about
How many people on the album?
You're talking about Spillagin, right? Not DiCaprio too.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Spillagin. Oh, that was his third album, was it?
Yes, Spillagin was his third.
I meant Spillagin. Yeah, I wouldn't listen to Spillagin first. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh.
I don't think there's really much else to cover here. But one thing I would like to add is that if you had to like say Jid is like a separate artist, I know he's a part of Dreamville. So people are gonna compare him obviously to J. Cole and other Dreamville artists like Boz and stuff like that, you know. But would you say J. Cole, like, if you had to recommend, like, give like a suggested two version of, like, if J. Cole popped up and there was a suggested two bottom at the bottom of like the artist profile, what would you say Jid is most like? Like, who is he most like? You know, for like people outside of people who don't know who Jid is.
Who's Jid most like?
Yeah, because I honestly have a hard time picking one because I don't really know who he could be like. He's kind of
Well,
unique.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree he's unique. Do you mean who he's like, voice wise, lyric wise, or like how his beats are, or
I
because I
mean,
think he's like some artists in a lot of different ways.
I mean,
I don't
like,
think there's a specific artist though that he's really alike.
so if I'm like new and I'm like, yo, do you know who Jid is? And he's like, Jid, what does he sound like? Or like who, like, can you name me like what, like, if I was to like pick up a song, like what would he sound like? He's like blah, 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 or is he like melodic, or like who would you say he's like? Obviously you could say like let's do an example. Like let's say Trippy Red and Juice. Maybe they make kind of the similar like melodic trap type of music, right?
Yeah, I would disagree with that, but maybe.
You disagree that they make similar music?
Similar beats maybe. I don't think they sound similar at all, so I wouldn't say.
No, definitely not sound. I'm talking about just like in similarity though. Like they're in the same genre is what I'm saying.
But yeah, maybe same genre, yeah.
I
But
guess that
you asked, what does he sound like?
yeah.
I don't think it sounds like Juice WRLD.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. But I guess what I meant to say is like who does Jid like if you had to put him like in a subgenre, what would that be? Would it be lyrical? Would it be I don't really know. I don't really know how to explain it. I think you just have to check him out and then like give your own opinion on him. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to recommend someone that's like unique in a way where like you could like some songs that maybe we don't like at all, and then like it could just be your cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that uh, he gets a lot of different aspects of his music from different artists. Do you by the way know what influenced him as a kid? Which artist influenced him?
I do not.
No?
Do you?
I don't know. I was just wondering if you did.
Mm-mm.
But I will say that I think that if I were to put him like any other artist, I would compare him to Well, first I would ask if you've ever heard of Earth Gang, because I think Earth Gang has similar lyrical flows. And if you hadn't heard of Earth King, then I would say that he's kind of like Corday. That's the only person that I might be able to compare him to.
Yeah.
4 day maybe.
Yeah,
And
actually,
even
that's not a bad comparison. Actually,
yeah, you think?
yeah, that's not a bad comparison. Actually, I mean,
That's what I would say.
no artist is gonna sound the exact same, obviously. So
Yeah, yeah.
sounding shouldn't have even been in the question. I don't know why I said that, but like in a way, I could see that, you know.
That's what I think.
Go back to your question. I think he was influenced by Lil Wayne, if I'm not mistaken. I think everybody was,
Okay.
but I think Lil Wayne was
That's
one of
cool.
the.
He's got features
I
though.
know
The
that was
influence,
that is
yeah,
pretty
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, but I think Lil Wayne was one of his uh
I would. That would make
inspirations.
sense. That would
Yeah.
make sense.
And yeah, man, I don't think there's really much else to say. Is there anything else you want to add to it?
No, I think I want to leave it where it is. I would highly recommend this artist. If you haven't listened to him that much, even if you have, I would listen to some of his older stuff that maybe you didn't know was good or you didn't know about. I would check it out. It's definitely worth a listen.
I agree. I agree. And before we go, y'all, I just have to remind y'all again to subscribe, like, and share. If
Do
you guys,
appreciate it.
yeah, we
Any
really
share
do.
would be awesome.
We really do, man. Anyway, to any way you can get the word out, and if you enjoyed anything, had a little fun, learned a little bit of about Jid, maybe he turned out to be one of your new favorite artists. Who knows, man? But yeah, we're obviously gonna have more artists coming soon. We have 20 as of right now that are planned, and be on the lookout for our next artist. I'm not gonna say who it is, but be on the lookout for it. So
Yeah, it'll be in the next week.
yeah. So yeah, y'all. It's been the Cheap Talk
All right, guys.
podcast, and I think we out.
We out. Dog out.